Hello my friends, Asoka the Geek here, and for this video we're going to take a look at the entire McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman v Superman wave. So I've done individual reviews of all of these figures, so definitely check out those videos if you want a more in-depth look at each one. This is going to be more of a recap of all the figures now that I've had them for, a good week or two now, and gotten to play with them a little bit and think about them, and also just after reading some comments from people in the comments, just kind of bringing that perspective to things. So yeah, this is more of a retrospective recap review, so definitely check out the other videos if you want to see a focus on the figures themselves. But overall, very happy with this wave. I love Batman v Superman. Just one of my favorite DC movies. I just love that movie so much. So I am very happy that we got this wave, that we finally have a proper movie Doomsday, Batman in his armor, Batman his nightmare look, a really nice Gal Gadot Wonder Woman finally with a really nice head sculpt, and then Superman. I always love having a Superman figure. This one has a cloth goods wired cape, but wish they had worked on the head sculpt a little bit. So overall, though, I am very happy with this wave. Glad I ordered it. There are a couple of things I wish I had done a little bit differently looking back now, and well, I guess we'll get right into that. I think at the end of the day, I probably would not have ordered the individual armored and Nightmare Batman, just because with the 2-pack, which is these two here, you get all the weapons, all the accessories. The head sculpt on the Nightmare Batman I actually prefer, with the scarf over his face. I really like that look. I guess the only thing I didn't like about this set is I like the battle damaged version, the head, but I prefer this one more, the standard head. But they're the same figure. I do wish that this figure had more battle damage on it, or any battle damage on it. It does have the standard scuffs and things that you got with the first version, but I think for this figure, if they had just done more battle damage, I would have felt a little bit better about it. But these two figures, basically the same figure, except with different head sculpts. So there's that. But again, I'm still happy I have all of these figures. But just looking at the figures individually, for me, my favorite one is definitely the armored Batman. I think they just hit this out of the park. It looks fantastic. I love the eyes, the wired cape there looks great. The way it moves, like you can really recreate the way he's like kind of looking up in the sky in the movie. I'm just glad we were able to do that with this figure. And it's just a beautiful figure. I just really love it. I love the paint scheme and whatnot. The way it moves is great. The heft of it is, I mean, it's not that much heavier than a McFarlane figure, but I don't know. I love the bulkiness of it. And yeah, I just dig this figure. So this is definitely my favorite figure of the wave. And again, his counterpart that you see here that came in the 2-pack, the only difference with this figure is the head sculpt, with the battle damage head sculpt, which is nice. That's very accurate to the movie. And then, of course, you get his weapons with this figure in the set. So that's nice as well. But as I mentioned in my other reviews, I much would have preferred if they had done a 2-pack with alternate heads and all the weapons. But I get it. You had to kind of figure a way. I understand the logic behind it. They wanted to make some available for, standard release in the toy aisle, but they also wanted to give collectors the versions with the guns. So I do appreciate that. I know it's been a challenge working around Warner Brothers guns issue with figures. So I'm glad I'm glad they found a way to do it by making this 2-pack a Walmart and McFarlane online store exclusive, including the guns. But I guess that makes sense that they had to create versions that they could just put on a Target shelf as well. So anyways, enough about that. So far, my favorite figure, the armored Batman. Wonder Woman, I love this Wonder Woman. I know it's the exact same one as far as the body goes from the Shazam version we got last year. But that head sculpt, I think, is just fantastic. They really captured her. I think this is one of the best movie accurate head sculpts from McFarlane. Just love it. Just love it so much. The only thing I don't like about this figure are the accessories. The shield is staying on pretty good right now, but I have to keep it like that for it to stay in place. And it's already sort of bending and bowing a little bit. The sword as well. I just really wish they used better plastic with these weapons. Just a little bit better so that you know, they wouldn't look like this out of the box. So that's the only bummer with this figure. But other than that, love the gal head sculpt, looks great. Really love this Wonder Woman. Only thing that's missing from this is the strap across her chest that people have mentioned, but I still really like this figure. Let's put her off to this side here for a moment. Next we have Nightmare Batman. So let's take a look at both versions of him. So this is the one I love. This is the one that comes in the 2-pack, and it comes with his appropriate weapons, and it looks so much better with the weapons. I'm not the biggest fan of this look in the movie. I think this works much better in a comic when you have him in a trench coat. But as far as this figure goes, with the guns, I just really love it. It just looks great. I love the whole Nightmare universe. It's just an Elseworlds type universe. Totally dig that. And then there is the masked head with the scarf. It is hollow in there, so there's no Bruce Wayne hiding. So I much prefer this version versus the standard edition. Again, the only difference is the head sculpt and the weapons, but definitely much more appreciate this version. So that's one that will be displayed on the walls. All right, so there on the walls, on the shelves. Jeez. All right, he's gonna topple over if I don't adjust him for a second there. So there you go. You guys can watch me awkwardly do that. All right, there he is. Next up, we'll talk about Henry Cavill. So pretty straight up re-release of the last version that we got from the Justice League line. We have this beautiful wired cape though. I like the fabric they use. I like the way it moves. You can make some really cool poses with it. The only thing here with the cape is you can see how it's really supposed to connect further down in the neck there. But, you know, what can you do? That's the way they had to do it. But I think the cape still works really well. I just really wish we had gotten an updated Henry Cavill head sculpt. I think, like someone mentioned in the comments, the sculpt is there, but the painting, you know, could have used another pass to really bring out the Henry Cavill look to it. I really do hope we get a proper Man of Steel line and some new Henry Cavill sculpts. But I still really like this figure. It's still a really nice Superman figure, I think, with the wired cape. It's really nice. I like the color of the cape turned out well, and you can make some really great poses with him. So this did come in a 2-pack with Doomsday, and he did come with this Kryptonite spear. And again, the same problem with the other accessories. It's already starting to really flop and start to bow a little bit, so I don't think I'm going to really display it with that. Or I might put it with the armored Batman, but there's that again. We just need to do a better job with these accessories, so a little bit more sturdy. So there you go. This is a really nice Superman though, just the way the light hits it and whatnot. So if you missed out on it the first time, at least you get a chance now to get it with an upgraded cape. So there you go. All right, let's put Henry back on the shelf here. There we go. Hopefully he won't fall over. He might. We'll see. There you go. And finally, last but not least, is Doomsday. So I still really love this figure, even after having it for a few days now. Not my favorite depiction of Doomsday. I don't think anyone's ever captured the true Dan Jurgens Doomsday that, you know, I so associate with this character. They've come close in like Krypton and in, well, I guess really Krypton. I know Smallville had a version. Superman and Lois have their version, which I really like actually. But this version, definitely my least the least accurate version of Doomsday if you're basing it on the comic, but I still really like this. I love that it's from the movie. I've seen a lot of people online and in the comments talk about the paint job on it, referring to kind of this gold paint on it. That doesn't really bother me, honestly. One thing that now, after having it a few days, does bother me is that just that is not painted right there. So that does bother me. I wish they had just fully painted that, obviously. The range of motion, would have liked to have more range of motion with it, more articulation. I don't know. I feel like this should move around a lot more than it does. Especially the head doesn't move around at all. But, well, it does, but just from right to left. So, me personally, I still love it. I still really dig it. It's going on the shelf. I think for me it works as a, you know, Batman v Superman official Doomsday. I totally get what people are commenting on, that it should be bigger. But you're right. I remember in the movie, like, Superman was the size of, like, his leg, I think. So he is definitely not that here. I'm not really doing a good job of showing that. But, yeah, I still really dig this. You know, I think it's still a beautifully sculpted figure. I think they really captured the design of the Doomsday really nicely. And I really like the head sculpt, because that just looks like the Doomsday from the movie. You know, looking back, what really bothered me about Batman v Superman is this was all spoiled in the trailers that Doomsday was in the movie. I remember seeing trailers with Doomsday. I'm like, why didn't they just save that for the movie? So anyways, there you go. So that's about it. That's just kind of a, a recap of all of these figures. I would love another wave of these. I would love a wave featuring like Aquaman, the Flash. That'd be fun. Of course, we'd love an updated Henry Cavill. I think there's even room for another BvS Batman, because this is the BvS Batman that we have, the standard version. And even though I like this figure quite a bit, he's just too small. He should be bulkier. It should just be, I think they should give this another shot, the BvS Batman, in my opinion. But there you go. I also should paraphrase this by saying this is not the complete wave, but there are 2 platinums out there in the world. There's a platinum of Henry Cavill, painted like a statue from the movie. And then there's another version of the armored Batman that has like a green paint scheme to him, sort of to reflect the kryptonite glowing onto his suit. So that is out there in the world as well. I'm not going to be chasing after those. If I come across them, of course, I'll pick them up. But that's the kind of chase I like, where it's not like a new character. It's not something you have to complete the wave, really. It's just sort of a nice to have for those of you who want those figures. But I still feel good about just having this wave. Again, if I find those, if I can get them easily, I will go for them. But other than that, I'm fine not having those. But there you go. There's my rambling recap of this wave. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Anything else you want to see with these figures, let me know. And I'll try to accommodate you via a YouTube short or on Instagram, Asoka the Geek, plug. But that's about it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time as always, and have a great day.